Hello everyone and welcome back. Today, let's talk about the best relics you can possibly get for your Prot Warrior. Now there are a lot of relics out there and some of them have choices from even when focused rage was relevant and getting crits was relevant. And there are still relics that don't help us survive any better. So today let's go over the list of the top relics, where to find them, and what you need to do to get them. And unlike the rest of our gear, like tier gear, it's not as easy to know where they drop from, just because tier, Nighthold, you go there, you get your tier. This is spread out between PvP, 5-mans, raids, world bosses, whatever it is that's available, there's probably a relic for it. So the best 3 relics that we have in order are the increase to our ignore pain, increase to our armor, and our increase to stamina. So that's how we'll be ranking every single relic that we come across. Now there is one new type of relic that's coming in Tomb of Sargeras, and that's going to increase block chance. There is only one of these, and I'm going to go ahead and place that one relic between the first and the second slot. A little bit worse than ignore pain, but a little bit better than armor. And the reason I have these rankings is just an overall situation. Ignore pain is our catch-all mitigator. Armor, point for point, is going to do a little bit more for us, and stamina will, even though armor won't mitigate magic damage. So here's the breakdown by relic. For our iron relics, the relics with the number 1 best trait are going to come from Emerald Nightmare and Halls of Valor. The relics with the number 2 best trait are going to come from Upper Karazhan, Archway, and Tomb of Sargeras. The number 3 best relic will come from Halls of Valor, Maw of Souls, from PvP, or from the world boss Apocrom. Now we move on to blood relics. The number 1 best in-slot relics will either come from Nightbane, which is not achievable for Mythic Plus, but regular Nightbane starts dropping 875 item level, or Tomb of Sargeras, Nighthold, Archway, or PvP. The number 2 best in-slot will come from Upper Karazhan, Nighthold, Neltharion's Lair, or Vault of the Wardens. And the number 3 will come from Darkheart Thicket. For fire relics, our number 1 best relic will come from Eye of Azshara. The number 2 will come from Emerald Nightmare or from the world boss. The number 3 will come from Halls of Valor, Lower Karazhan, world boss, Tomb of Sargeras, or PvP. Now let's get all this data and put it together to see how you can best spend your time to increase your chances at getting a good relic. Now if you're going to be doing raiding content, that's 10 to 25 man content, you're going to have the same chances in Emerald Nightmare, Nighthold, and Tomb of Sargeras. These are all tied. Trial of Valor is the only raid which will not be dropping any relics for you, so you don't want to go in there. For the 5-man content, Halls of Valor is going to be your best 5-man dungeon to run in Mythic Plus. Following that, Upper Karazhan and Archway are going to be tied for 2nd place. And then below that is going to be Lower Karazhan, Neltharion's Lair, and Vault of the Warden. And at the very bottom, Maw of Souls, Darkheart Thicket, and Eye of Azshara. This completely cancels out Court of Stars, Blackroot Cold, and Cathedral of the Eternal Night. These will not be dropping any relics for you, so you don't need to be running those. If you just want to do solo content, there's a few world bosses that start dropping some of these relics. And actually, PvP is a very good way to get some of these relics. If you only do PvP, you can get 2 out of 3 best in slot relics just by farming PvP. One thing you do need to keep in mind if you're doing only raiding content is the relative item level of each one of these relics. So if you're only going to be doing Emerald Nightmare, you should be expecting an average lower item level than if you're just going to be farming Nighthold. Or when Tomb of Sargeras comes out, that'll be the best farm. Something else that I really like about this patch is the fact that longer Mythic Plus dungeons now reward more artifact power. So if you run something like Halls of Valor, depending on what Mythic Plus level you run it, you could get anywhere from 1 to 2 million artifact power. So keep that in mind when you're making your decision of what dungeon to run. You could also just be passively increasing your weapon and working your way towards the new Paragon talents. So regardless of what content you're doing, there's a way out there to farm the best in-slot relics. I hope this list really helps you guys out. If you would like to support the channel, go ahead and visit our Patreon linked here and linked down in the description below. And as always, good luck tanking out there.